And so for everyone to also know, we will be able to provide this information also in Spanish, but for this evening, we will be giving the information in English. All right. Oh, okay. And so I'm going to kick us off just to give us a welcome. I am super excited to finally be able to launch ISLA Verano. ISLA Verano has been in the works for 2 years. We were going to kick off our summer camp last year. And so just a little bit of background about ISLA. ISLA started in 2012 with the intention of just being a Saturday heritage language program. And over the last 8 years, or turning 9 in September, we've become way more than that. We've become a Saturday heritage language program, which is our largest program, but also a hub for community information, also programming for Spanish immersion, which is what we have here. And so we're very excited to be able to continue to serve our ISLA community that includes you all who are interested in not only learning language, but also learning language through culture. And so we're super excited to have ISLA Verano be part of summer 2021. We were super bummed that we had to close it, but like everything else, you know, the pandemic happened and now we get to do summer camp just a little bit differently. And so I'm going to pass the microphone over to my colleagues here to talk a little bit about what is ISLA Verano and take it over.
Okay, so hi everybody. So what is ISLA Verano? So ISLA Verano is our Spanish outdoor exploration summer program, and the students will be traveling imaginary for 6 weeks of Spanish immersion outdoors, right? So we are gonna have, our theme is for this year, Un Viaje de Aventuras. So the students will be traveling to 6 different Latin American countries. We are gonna start with Bolivia, and and then the students also be able to learn Spanish through culture in a fun and interactive environment outdoors. So ISLA Verano is for students rising kindergarten to rising 5th grade. As I said, we are going to have 6 weeks. It's Monday through Friday, and we are going to start June 21st through July 30th. So we have students that are going to be with us all 6 weeks, some of them 4 weeks, 2 weeks, maybe some of them 1 week, but yeah, so we are so excited. So this is our calendar. As you see, we are going to be exploring 6 different Latin American countries. We start with Bolivia, Panama, Chile, Costa Rica, El Salvador, and Venezuela. So the whole week we are going to explore one country. So we are going to focus in a specific topic each day. So we are going to teach the cultural part, but at the same time we are going to connect outdoor education, and we are going to do activities like STEM, science, and art. And we are going to make sure that every day students can enjoy water play, because I know that it's summer, so we want them, the kids feels a little refreshed. And also this year we are going to focus, especially I think in Panama and Costa Rica, students are going to be able to learn the history of Afro-Latino community, and as well some Aztecas or Maya. So I think it's going to be a really, really fun summer camp, where the students will be able not also to, as I said, to have fun, but also learn. Let me see here, I can move. Yes, so the time, it starts from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. We have aftercare hours, and it starts from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. So ISLA Verano, we have 2 locations. The first week is going to be in Solid Park in Durham. And from the second week through the 6 weeks is going to be in Forest Hills Park in Durham. So how a typical day looks like at ISLA Verano. Well, so At 8:30, right? So as soon as the students are arriving to the location, they are going to have free centers. They will be able to do some board games in Spanish, able to learn as well some vocabulary with assistants and volunteers that are going to be close to them. At 9 a.m. every day, they're going to start doing like a mantra, like a kind of meditation, and the students will be able to connect with the nature and everything that is around them. So then we have the cultural block, so which is the teacher is going to provide that topic for the day. For example, if it is the week 1 Bolivia, so she's going to start talking about El Lago Titicaca, which is one of the most famous lake in Bolivia. The students are going to learn about the color, the size, and some descriptions. And after that, they are going to do a cultural activity, right? And then we have snack times. We are going to have also like an explorer time, which the students can enjoy the outdoor education. They are going to walk to the forest and do something hands-on activities. Then we have lunch and recess. And we are going to make sure that every single day the students they can learn in Spanish songs, and also very typical Latin American games, which our assistants and volunteers are going to teach the students. And then, well, then it's time to go home. Something that I want to add is this is something cool. Every week, it's going to go a teacher that is a specialist in outdoor education are going to teach a specific topic with all the students. And I think we are so excited about that. And see, maybe, you know, some weeks we may have some surprises. We already have some ideas, maybe, you know, a cone ice track, maybe it's going to appear there and sell something. And we are, well, it depends on COVID, right? But we are thinking maybe if we are talking about Venezuela, having something that the kids can also enjoy and try, and also, you know, they can practice the Spanish skills as well. So depends of the weather, maybe we may have to do, you know, something like a short field trip, but you know, it's gonna be depends how is the weather is going.
Yeah, can I add just something there,
Yes.
Susana? And one of the things that I would like to highlight is that Susana and Cindy both have been working really hard to make sure that this summer camp is an experience that very different from your typical summer camp, in the sense of how interdisciplinary it is, and how we're going to make it fun. And again, this is full Spanish immersion. So we know, and one of the things that I would like to tell our parents in the beginning, it's going to take some getting used to for the kids, that they'll be speaking in Spanish. They'll be spoken to in Spanish, giving those total physical responses so that the child understands what it is that we're saying. So the first day is going to be a bit of a shock to some of our campers who haven't been exposed to the language as much as maybe some others. But that's the beauty of having the variety of different Spanish levels and the kids within the camp, and also the teachers and the teachers, assistants, and the volunteers that we have are all Spanish speaking, and all have had a lot of training with Susana and Cindy on how to make sure that we're able to teach language through outdoor play, through cultural games. And with Tiera, who is our outdoor education specialist, she is trained specifically in outdoor ed and in all things wildlife exploration. And so we're really excited to be able to have her at least once a week being part of our camp. And so as the camp goes on, because this is our first year of having camp, there are going to be surprises, like Susana said, that are going to come up throughout the summer, that we get to really be able to dig deeper into the culture and dig deeper into language. And so I see that there's already some questions that are coming in the chat. Go ahead and put them in there. We're going to answer a ton of questions at the end. Some of the questions that you may put in there may be answered throughout the presentation. So please put them in there so we have them and can touch them at the end if we haven't already through the presentation.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Janice.
Okay. So now for the last fun part, but important. So arrival and departure procedure. So what we're going to do is we're going to outline what to do once you arrive to the site and what to do once you're picking up your students. So arrival. So arrival will be at 8:30 a.m. The latest that you can arrive is 8:45, but we would like for everyone to arrive at 8:30. Parents, we will ask for parents to fill out a Google form that we are going to be sharing at the beginning of every week. This Google form will basically ask, has your child been exposed to anyone who has COVID-19 symptoms or who has tested positive for COVID-19, or if they are sick or if they have any symptoms. So I'm pretty sure you have filled out something related, something similar to this, maybe at the doctor's office or something like that. So that is pretty much what you're gonna have to fill out, one for each child. So if you have 2 children, you're gonna have to fill it out once and then again. And this is gonna be every day in the morning. When you arrive, you shall remain in the car. The teacher will be there and she will ask you if you have filled out the form. Now we expect everyone to be honest, and you know, if you say yes, then I mean, we are going to check by the end of the day, but it's just going to be by word of mouth. If you filled it out, great. And if you didn't, we will be calling you so that you can fill it out as soon as possible. Once the student gets out the car, they must be wearing a mask. If they do not have a mask on, the teacher must provide them one. And we will have plenty of masks available throughout the whole day. So if they ever need one, we will have a bunch available for them. Once the teacher will also be checking their temperature with a thermometer, a device. And the teacher will ask for the student's name and mark them on the attendance list what time they arrived. We want to make sure that we track everything, you know, what time they arrive, just in case anything happens, we have everything written down. Then the assistant will take the student to the disinfection table. The student is gonna apply hand sanitizer that it has at least 60% alcohol. The assistant will then take the student to his or her designated group, most likely in the shelter, and then they will stay there until all kids have arrived with a volunteer playing games, singing, doing small activities, depending what we have for that day. Next, Susanna. Okay, so arrival at Salitz Park. So we have here taken a screenshot of the map for Salitz Park, and this is just for those who will be attending the first week. So as you can see, we have the entrance, and this is just one street that will take you down to the park, and that, you know, corner will be the pickup and drop off area. And we have also outlined where the shelter is going to be at. This is a very small parking lot, so we are going to, you know, ask for your patience and because we are going to, you know, slowly be because you're gonna have to go in, you know, do a U-turn and then leave. So we're gonna try and make it as swift as possible. But yes, that's how this Salitz Park is going to be for the arrival. And then this is a general map for Forest Hills Park. This park will be for week 2 through 6. We have the drop-off area at the top. That's the main parking lot of the park. We have the shelter, and then I have circled the east Forest Hills Boulevard, which you will have to go in to go to the pickup area. So it's all in the same area, so it's not too far off away from the park. Next, Susanna. So for arrival at Forest Hills Park, if if you are coming from, can you outline, Susana? From, yes. Yes, if you're coming from this side, remember that it's, sorry, technology. Use your arrows, Susana, your keyboard arrows. Okay, if you're coming from this side, remember it's your first left, but if you're coming from the other side, it's your second right. So we want to make sure, because it does get confusing where the entrance and exit is, but we will try to mark where the exit and entrance is. And you see the arrows, you follow the line, and then right there where the drop-off area, that's where we're going to be, getting your students situated and marking them on the attendance list. And then you exit. Next. Okay, departure. So departure, we ask that you pick up your students by 3:30 p.m. And if you have purchased aftercare, then at 5:30 p.m. So minutes before departure, students will be taken to the bathroom by teachers or assistants to wash their hands. When the parent arrives at the site, she must remain in the car, and the teacher will ask the parent for the student's name and check them out on their attendance list, and then the student is going to get on the car. If the student is being picked up by someone other than a parent, we will ask for them to bring an ID, and we will have to take a picture of that ID and a picture of that person, just to be safe, just to make sure that the student is going with the right person. If your student will be late or will be absent for any of the days that they will be attending ISLA Verano, we ask that you please let us know in advance, at least 24 hours by email, or if it's less than 24 hours, you can call us or text us at our ISLA phone number. And we will be providing this information later on. Janice, I think you wanted to mention about the bathrooms.
Yes. And so at both parks, and I see there's a question here specifically about the parks that we have reserved, and so I could go ahead and answer that question. So each park, we have the reserved area for ISLA. Now, it's not the entire park, it is the area of the park in which we're going to do all of our activities and the shelters. Now, these bathrooms are both, at both parks, are one stall bathrooms. And so we will not at any time, part of ISLA's procedures in all of our programs is that no student or adult should be left alone. And so there will always be at least 2 adults and 2 children in line. We're going to do 45-minute, every 45 minutes, we're going to take kids to the bathroom and ask if anyone needs to go to the bathroom to make sure that we give enough time, as well as throughout the day have water breaks to make sure that kids are hydrated. But at no time will kids be with anyone in the bathroom stalls or in the bathroom. So, and we're going to be keeping very safe procedures when it comes to our bathroom breaks. And I saw, okay, so a couple of the other questions. What is the procedure if we want to pick up our child before the 10? Yeah, we're gonna cover that question in just a few seconds about the departure. So if there are any additional questions about those procedures, but each of the parks, like I said, are reserved, the specific area where ISLA will be is reserved to ISLA at both parks all the weeks.
Mm-hmm. And the procedure if you want to pick up your child before the designated pickup times, again, you can email us in advance or call us, text us to let us know that you will be picking up your child, and that way we have them ready by the time that you will be picking them up. Mm-hmm. And the departure is the same for Salute Park. It's the same entrance as the arrival. And then this is different for Forest Hills Park. So if I think you saw in the previous picture, this is East Forest Hills Boulevard. So you're gonna go through East Forest Hills Boulevard, and the pickup area will be, you will see us once we're there. We're gonna all be there with the students. And after you pick them up, you are welcome to continue on East Forest Hills Boulevard, or make that right on Beverly Drive, make a U-turn, and then go back on East Forest Hills Boulevard. And so now what to bring and what not to bring every day at ISLA Verano. So we want to remind you all that all items that your students bring to ISLA Verano are clearly labeled with your student's first and last name. We want to make sure that we don't get anything mixed up. There are some students that have the same first name. So make sure you also add that last name so that we are able to clearly identify whose items is whose. Okay, so every day your student should bring lunch and maybe a snack too. We recommend packing an ice pack for extra coolness. We will have coolers available with ice, and we are going to be placing all lunches there. But if you want some extra coolness, you can go ahead and pack that extra ice pack inside their lunch bags. Also sunscreen and bug spray. Please apply before they arrive to the site. We do have these available, and we will have them available throughout the day so that students can reapply every once in a while. Also, a change of clothes. So students will be getting a little dirty or wet. You know, a lot of stuff can happen. So we do ask that in a big gallon Ziploc bag, you pack a change of clothes, just in case they need to change their shirt or, you know, their pants or something like that. They have something there. And on the bag, write their first and last name. And also at ISLA, we're going to be providing a ISLA Verano drawstring bag and an ISLA Verano water bottle. And we do ask that you bring these every day to camp. And then for optional, what to bring, an individual activity for rest hour. We are going to have time, or we are going to give students some time for them to relax and rest. We know it's going to be very hot some days, and they're going to want to, you know, just chill for a little bit. So if they want to bring maybe a book, a coloring book, journal, something like that, they're welcome to do so. And if they have a favorite snack or just want to bring more snacks or have specific allergies, they can bring an extra snack. What not to bring. So what not to bring, please don't bring toys, no electronics, no trading cards, and no jewelry. We do not want them to lose any of these jewelry or electronics, so please do not bring them. And what to wear. So we ask that students wear a mask. We will ask that all students and staff wear a mask at all times, except for when they're eating. Closed-toed and comfortable shoes. So no sandals, but yes, sneakers or rain boots, anything that they'll feel comfortable and are willing to, you know, get dirty and wet or, you know, whatever happens at summer camp. Long socks, this is, you know, just to keep them safe if there are any bugs or ticks. We do ask that they bring long socks. Comfortable clothes that they can comfortably move and, you know, give them that flexibility to move around however they want. A hat, this is not only just for the sun, but we also do want to prevent any tick problems or anything like that. So bringing a hat will be very helpful for them. And we also will be providing an ISLA Verano t-shirt. So please bring that every day. We have those ready for them, which will be all this we will be giving to them on their first day of whenever they come. And name tag, we will have a name tag for them. We will be keeping this every day. So this is not something that they have to bring, but it's just something that they're going to be wearing every day, a name tag. We do have extra masks for kids. We will have masks all day, every day. because they can get wet, or, sweating, they're going to get wet. So we will be replacing those once in a while if the student needs it. And these are, we are outlining the wash instructions for t-shirts. So turning them inside out, machine wash cold, no fabric softener, no bleach, hand dry only, do not dry clean, do not iron. So these are very specific instructions because we want you to take very good care of your t-shirts, because they will be wearing them every day. So if you follow these instructions, you should be fine. For those students who will be with us more than 3 weeks or more than 2 weeks, we will be providing maybe 2 t-shirts so that you can have, more options. And I know this is long. I'm not going to read it all. You can read it at your own time. But we do want to, take and acknowledge that there can be poison ivy or, ticks at these parks. So we have, these policies. And in that arrival form that you will have to fill out every day, in there, we will also ask if anything happens, are we able to, treat your student? Let's say they have poison ivy, the plant, or if they have a tick on them, if we are able to extract that tick. So we want to make sure that we are very careful with these kinds of things. And do you want to add something, Janice?
Yes, I don't want to cause any alarm to anyone as far as poison ivy and ticks. One of the things and the beauties of our teachers being trained by our outdoor educators was that they are able to spot poison ivy. And one of our policies that we will be going over with kids is do not touch a plant without asking first if this is a plant that you can touch when we're out exploring. But you never know, right? An accident can happen, and poison ivy, a child can come in contact with poison ivy. And so we want to make sure that we follow the right procedures to avoid any issues with that. Then the tick policy, same thing. It's doubtful that someone will find a tick, but it's possible because we will be outside and we will be exploring the wooded area. North Carolina is known to have ticks. And so we want to make sure that if at any time a student during camp hours we find a tick or finds a tick and we need to remove it, that we have the permission from the parents to do so. And we will also be saving the tick. And if you go home, one of the things we're going to ask, and we highly recommend, is that when you get home to immediately remove the clothes that the child used throughout the day and look for ticks in those areas that ticks like to hang out. And if you do find a tick in your child's skin, remove it and save it, because you could take that to health professionals who could test it to make sure that there was nothing wrong with the tick. And so we hope that this isn't something that we have to worry about, but we are in North Carolina where both of these things exist. So we want to be very cautious and also proactive in ensuring that we're providing the best possible care for your students while they're in ISLA's care. So there is also, I think we did poison ivy and tick, and I am monitoring the questions. So we will be answering all these questions that I see on the chat.
Okay, COVID-19 precautions.
All right.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so outdoor education, like we mentioned, we are going to be outside the whole day. All the students' daily activities will be outdoors. We will have a picnic shelter that we are going to use for storage of belongings, eating, resting, and in the event of rain, that's where we're going to be at. All of our teachers, assistants, and volunteers have undergone COVID-19 specific training, and they will be screened every day prior to the start of the shift. We will be asking all students and staff to wear a mask at all times except when eating. And all of our teachers, assistants, and volunteers have been fully vaccinated, but they will still be having to wear a mask at all times. And so we're going to be practicing social distancing. We're going to group students into small groups. We ask the students keep 3 feet apart within their groups and then 6 feet apart between other groups. And we are going to be limiting the sharing of objects. We are going to have signs visible to students at bathrooms and at our shelter to promote the proper use of masks and hand washing and using hand sanitizer, all of that. We also going to monitor and reinforce hand washing with water and soap for at least 20 seconds. Hand sanitizer that has at least 60% alcohol, and then sneezes and coughs to be kept on the elbow or in the tissue, and then immediately followed by hand washing. And as we said before, masks should be worn, over the mouth and nose, and should be worn at all times. We will have some mask breaks. So we will have designated areas where students will be able to take off their masks and, have that free, fresh air. But other than that, they will be required to wear a mask at all times. And also we're gonna have a lot of masks available if they need a replacement. All of our teachers and assistants have received certification in first aid and CPR training. So they will be able to, kind of know how to treat a lot of, if they get cuts or, ticks, whatever. We will have a first aid kit available also. Cleaning and disinfection, staff will be cleaning and disinfecting frequently touched surfaces on a regular basis, just to make sure that everything is clean and sanitized for students. Okay, and this is when to stay home. So stay home if the student or staff member is sick or showing COVID-19 related symptoms, and we ask that you get tested. If the student or staff member has recently been in close contact with a person with COVID-19 and get tested, or if the student or staff member has tested positive for COVID-19, they are allowed to come back after 14 days of having no COVID-19 related symptoms. Okay, what happens if there is an outbreak? So we know it's very important that we plan for these things, and we want to, keep everyone safe and make sure that we follow all the proper precautions. We are following all CDC guidelines for summer camps for youth, and we are going to ask if there is an outbreak, we are going to ask all students and staff members to get tested for COVID, and they must stay home for 14 days before coming back to ISLA. We will make sure that there is a teacher that is able to finish that week for the rest of the students who were not who didn't have contact with whoever was infected by COVID. And students who were in contact with the staff member or another student must stay home for at least 7 days for any symptoms. Okay, and now I sent an email probably last week, but we are reminding everyone to please complete the student profile. This profile is just, to get to know your student a little better. We want to know their likes, dislikes. A lot of what ISLA is centered is around the students and what they want. So we want to make sure that we do take that into account and do some activities around that. And also get to know, if there are any behavior issues, or, how do we handle if they get upset and stuff like that. And Janice will be sharing the link in the chat for that. And also we have created a Facebook group. This Facebook group is a private group for all of our ISLA Verano families. This is so that we can share pictures for the day, and a way for, parents to interact with one another and just share any important announcements, such as if we're canceling for a day, or, if we are relocating somewhere else, just important announcements. If, I know some people don't check their emails regularly, but maybe they are on Facebook all the time. So we wanted to make this a space for you guys so that we can also provide, that information to you through that.
All right, so questions. There are lots of questions, so I'm actually going to scroll up to our very first question. So where is the alternate location if it rains? So currently in both sites, well, let me back up a little bit. When it comes to outdoors, we will even be doing outdoor exploration even when it rains. And so we will make sure to have ponchos, and like we asked, to make sure that kids have closed-toed shoes on a rainy day. If you have rain boots, that'd be great to have your child wear the rain boots. We will still be exploring outdoors even when it rains. However, if there is an issue with thunderstorms, we do have the option to request I'm blanking on the oh my gosh, the clubhouse that is at Forest Hills Park. So there is an alternate location if there are thunderstorms. However, slight rain, scattered showers, we still will be enjoying the outdoors. And we will be in the shelter, and the shelter is very closed off. We did talk to the park faculty, and they shared that the rain will not come inside, and there'll be sufficient space for our kids to still have proper social distancing. And we will make it equally as fun even during a rainy day inside of the shelter, and continue to explore the different countries in which we'll be exploring each week. So next question, can parents get out of the car to help the kid out of their car, or will the teachers and assistants do that? The teachers and assistants will assist the children coming out of the car. It wouldn't be necessary for the parents to have to do so. This is not only just for kind of easing the easiness of the process, right, of making sure drop off and go, so that we don't have any issues with parking and with the traffic mostly. So we will assist with that. Is the park going to be reserved solely to ISLA? We have reserved solely the areas that we're going to be working in. And one of the things that we're going to make sure to do is mark things off so that we know where the kids, their boundaries are. They'll always be with their camp counselors and their teachers and the assistants and volunteers. Our ratio is we have 4 adults at a time per group. So we have quite a few adults that are going to be monitoring, and we're going to be making sure that we are in isolated specific areas to keep a safe distance from not only our campers, but if anyone else is at the park. But again, our area is blocked off. Okay, what should we pack for 5-year-olds on a typical day? So you saw in the things that you should bring. I think most importantly, making sure that you bring your bag, your ISLA bag that you'll be given with your lunch, with your water bottle. We're going to be having water breaks and mask breaks like we talked about. I know that right now there's a question in here about the mandate about the mask. Currently, I think for the comfort of all of our families, we want to make sure that our students keep their mask on. We can revisit this policy as the summer goes on, and week by week basis. We may be able to take a survey from the families each week to see the comfort levels. But I think ultimately for us, we want to make sure that all of our families feel comfortable. And again, those designated breaks, it's really when a student says, I need a break from mask, we'll have those areas where they can just step aside, take that mask off to make sure that the students are comfortable. There was another question in regards to a student overheating. So like I said, there is the option of ISLA being able to have access to the clubhouse. Now, it's not that we'll be able to do our activities there, but the clubhouse does have AC. However, one of the things that we are doing is providing these industrial fans inside of the shelter so that there is ventilation, there's cool air that's in that space. And so it is going to be, it's not going to be AC cold, but it's going to be a comfort in the shelter away from the heat. And so that is going to be the designated area to kind of cool off. Okay, next question here. And we will send again a list of what a typical day looks like and what the typical things that you should bring as reminders within the Facebook group and your emails. Okay, what is a procedure if so we talked about that. What is a procedure if we want to pick up our child before the designated pickup times? Please send a message, whether it be text message or through email, to let us know that what time so we can have the student ready. Another thing is if at any time you will have someone else pick up, and I know Cindy talked about this, anyone else pick up the student, that email needs to be sent ahead of time so that we can request a picture ID, because we will not be giving the child to anyone that is not a person that is on the pickup list of each child. We want to make sure that we keep all of our students safe. Okay, can we just do 1 or 2 days of aftercare, or is it only the whole week? Susana.
So I think it's the whole week, and some of the parents already pay for that. So yeah, I don't know, like, yeah. So I don't know if she's able to, Cindy, maybe you can help me with that. I don't know if she's able to pay.
For aftercare, I think you can pick specific days.
Mhm.
You are able to pick specific days. Yes, so you don't have to pick the whole week for aftercare, because we do have some parents who have picked like Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of thing for aftercare. And if you want to add aftercare, I'm not sure if you can go ahead and log into your Sawyer account, but if you are unable to work Sawyer, just send us an email and we can, internally do it for you.
Awesome. Perfect. So next question here. Okay. Oh, I lost my, okay. The next question is in regards to the student teacher ratio. So it is 1 adult to every 6 children. And so that is the ratio that we're going to have throughout the day. So we have 24 kids in 1 week. And so we have 2 teachers, 2 main teachers that are doing content, and then 2 assistants. And then we also have volunteers that will be part of the day. But we don't count them as the additional adults because they will never be in a group with the 6 kids on their own. They won't be leading a group. So the 4 adults is the 2 teachers and the 2 assistants. So it's 1 to every 6 students. Okay. And then can we also remove aftercare for some days? Yes, you can remove the aftercare for the days that you need to remove. You just let us know and then we'll refund you for those after school care times. Also, if there is anyone who has any specific instructions for their students, or if there's something specific that we should know in regards to maybe a medication that they have to take, whether it be for asthma or for something similar, you will provide that information directly to Susana and Cindy, and then we'll make sure to have those instructions. One of the things with ISLA and specifically with summer camp is Susana, Cindy, and I will be there regularly. I probably will be there at least once a day for at least 2 hours just to really observe and take note. And so we really appreciate everyone's feedback. So as the week goes on, if you check with your child, what was their favorite thing, if you would let us know, those are the things that we want to take into consideration as we continue to develop the week, because we do want this to be a good experience for not only the students, but also for you all. Language development is where we really want to shine, and we really want to give a lot of opportunity to see language learning as an opportunity to get closer to a variety of cultures and learn more about the diversity within Latin America. And so we want it to be fun. And so we're going to make sure to constantly check in to make sure that students are happy as they're with us at ISLA Verano and exploring and learning more about each individual country. Let me see if there are any additional questions here. Oh, and so one thing that Cindy mentioned was a student profile. as many details as you could put in there on this, the interest of the students. So one of the things that we tried to do in all of our programming is center the interest of the students. So I like to give the example of at ISLA Los Sábados, where a student may put that their interest is princesses and dragons, right? We take that into consideration and actually do a myth or do some type of tale that's from the country. It's a cultural, but introduces that interest of the child, right? If the child likes Legos, make sure to tell us that. If they like, if they don't like to do anything related to dancing, my daughter, she loves dancing, but one of the things she doesn't like to do is to be put on the spot. So if she, is put in front of everybody, she's not dancing. So I actually like to tell people that, because I think it's important that we know as much as we can of the students in which we're teaching, so we can make, again, this experience a good one. Are there any additional questions? And feel free to raise your hand, unmute yourself, and ask questions if there are specific questions in regards to ISLA Verano. Susana, so there's another question here. Are the kids grouped by random age or language ability?
Yes, they are grouped by age from 5 years old to 5, 6, and 7. And then we have another group by 8 to 11. And from the group, for example, from 5 to 6, let's see if we have 10 students. So those 10 students in one group, we are gonna also divide it by language ability, and we are gonna separate. One is gonna be with the teacher and the other with the volunteer, and we're gonna try to switch. So even if we have the group from 5 to 7 years old, we are gonna also divide in small groups, so as much as we can.
And just to clarify, when she means separate in the groups, it will be within the activities that they're doing in one space. So the groups will have their teacher and the assistant, and so they'll be separated within that group space. And so if you actually have ever been to the parks, the space is quite large, and we're going to be using basically 3 areas of Forest Hills Park, where it's the shelter, the big open space will mark off, and at times we may go over to where the wooded area is and other parts. So within that, at all times, all the adults will actually be able to see all of the kids and all of the groups. And so it's not that they will be completely separate areas where there's not all of the adults in one place. So I just want to make that clear. Any more questions? Yay, I'm so glad this has been helpful. If there are any additional questions, please feel free to send us a message directly. I'm also going to put my personal email. Feel free to shoot me an email if there are some specific concerns. If there are things that, that we didn't cover today that you feel like we should have, we will be more than happy to make sure to update those things. These policies and all of this information is also going to be sent out in a PDF and accessible. And so we're going to put it as an additional link on the Facebook group, and also within the emails that you all get of updates throughout the week, so that you also have access to that. So again, thank you so much for being here and for listening to us. We just talked to you all for almost an hour. So thank you so much. And we cannot wait to meet your kids and be able to enjoy a summer of exploring different countries around Latin America.
Yes. And we are very open to feedback. As Janice said, this is our first year doing it in person. And, with COVID, it's not any easier. But we are open to all feedback, any feedback that you can have, whether good or bad. We are just trying to, provide the best experience for your student and for the whole family. So yes, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, and I can wait to see you soon.
Yep. Adios.